Electrical engineers. The guys who made watching this video possible. They trick sand into thinking and are basically modern day wizards. So it also shouldn't come as a surprise that they're a relatively weird bunch. And if you've ever talked to one, they'd probably agree. Years of family members and friends asking if you could do the electrical work for their house will do that to you. All while you just laugh it off and explain that those are electricians, which is a very different job from what you do. Meanwhile, the electricians probably have the harder job and deserve more respect. And like with any other STEM major, you probably get a lot of that, ooh, that must be super hard. And you just nod along, thinking that they probably have no idea what a Nyquist frequency even is, or never even heard of a BJT. And if you have no idea either, don't worry, neither do I. So, what do electrical engineers do? Well, it may seem alien to people outside the field, but electrical engineers are not all the same. And in terms of breadth, it's probably the widest branch of engineering out there. From power guys to glorified coding monkeys, we got it all. And amongst all these different categories, there's a couple stereotypes within each subject matter that might help you better understand and even surprise your electrical engineering friends when you tell them how easy digital design is and that it's really analog designers who have the hardest job. Speaking of which, analog purists. These are the guys who swear by purely signals and think that zeros and ones are baby talk for physics scare me. They're probably the most autistic of the bunch, and although they are incredibly smart, they'd rather spend a week stuck inside their room on LT Spice than touching grass or, God forbid, talking to a woman. Their most prized possession is their oscilloscope, and their room probably looks like this. The opposite of them would be digital designers. This is the field where, if you've ever watched one of those computer and Minecraft videos, there's a likely chance the people who made that are in this category. They're more computer engineers, which has sort of branched out from electrical engineering, but they're basically the guys who design your overpriced computer parts so that you can pretend you're a computer engineer, while following that Linus Tech Tips guide on how to build a PC. Also, you can play the latest version of Indiana Jones at 20 FPS on a $2,000 machine. And once you've built that expensive Minecraft player, maybe you can download VS Code or NeoVim if you're feeling spicy. Then sign up for a bootcamp so you too can become a glorified coding monkey. aka unemployed. Many people are surprised to learn that many electrical engineers actually just end up coding for most of their daily work, and some even fully make the pivot to software, abandoning their hardware in pursuit of a higher TC or remote work. While the market right now may not be the best for software engineers, a good electrical engineer or computer engineer with solid understanding of how memory and pipelining works will make for a fantastic low-level developer if you can get them to stop messing with their NeoVim plugins or latest Arch ricing setup and actually do some work. Let's move back over to hardware, where you'll find guys who make the electronic systems for anything from rockets, to planes, to rockets again, and occasionally drones or satellites. These are the avionics engineers, and they're probably the coolest engineers you'll meet, while also holding some of the most hoe-frightening political opinions that will make you wonder whether that top secret clearance was a mistake. Other than that, they really are usually pretty chill, and probably the most likely on this list to have a girlfriend. Just don't ask them what their opinions on the South China Sea or Ukraine war are, or you'll be talking to them for a while and might even get put on a government watch list. Other than avionics engineers, there are two other common types of electrical engineers within the defense industry. The first are the RF guys. These guys work with radio frequencies. Their field often is referred to as black magic, even amongst fellow electrical engineers. And honestly speaking, it's about as close to magic as you'll get, as they directly manipulate the fundamental waves which naturally propagate throughout our universe for communication, power, and to even heat up that week old burrito in your fridge. Good RF engineers are highly sought after by companies like Raytheon and are an essential part of modern warfare. And the esoteric nature of the field leads to a lot of misunderstandings from people who think they know better than literal magicians. The other type of engineer commonly found within defense is the FPGA engineer. FPGA stands for Field Programmable Gate Array. What does this mean? What do FPGA engineers do? Why do they make so much money? No one knows the answers to these questions. And to be honest, it's kind of a niche field. A weird mix-up between ASICs and microcontrollers that's mainly used for custom solutions in places like defense and high-frequency trading. Lockheed Martin is probably paying like 5 of these guys $1 million a year to live in some locked closet in Arkansas. And someday soon, when those guys either retire or die, well, maybe then we'll find out what it is that they do. Speaking of old guys, we come to the power engineer. He's the actual reason you're able to watch this video and have the lights on, and he's also probably older than your great-grandfather. The day he retires or dies, it won't just be a blow to whatever company he works for, but the entire infrastructure system that depended on him maintaining century-old machines that still somehow power our convoluted and extremely complex electrical grid. It's honestly sad. There's not a lot of new power engineers coming out of college, as it's not as high-paying or prestigious as something like a chip designer, but they're becoming increasingly important as our power consumptions reach new heights and our decrepit infrastructure is being pushed to its absolute limits. These guys are the backbone of modern society, and everyone else on this list depends on them for their own stuff to work properly or even have any use at all. If we're going to keep making new technological innovations and even advancing as a civilization, we're going to need new power engineers who aren't afraid to get their hands dirty and figure out solutions to hard problems. And that's pretty cool.